trying to resettle my microphone in the proper place because it's been a while since I actually used it. I need to fucking turn off the knock feature. Hang on. Where's my fucking... Okay, stream manager. Collaboration. Pause collaborations for the stream. Fucking hell. God, I love this piece. Sorry, I have to pause. I have to take the time to like pause collaborations every time I start a stream now, because Twitch introduced this lovely feature called knock, where unless you specifically turn it off, anyone can join your stream. Like any other streamer can just join your stream and like disrupt it, which is an amazing feature. And another amazing thing is that it's impossible to turn off. You cannot turn off the knock ability, at least not that I've found. You can only disable it per stream. So I have to start my stream by disabling it so no one, like, joins my stream to raid me, basically. And their only response to this criticism of this awful new feature is just making jokes about it. Alright, ghost chat, where's my... chat feature? Common Twitch W. Common Twitch. They do not get a W for that, chat. Alright, I have cheesy toast. Because I have not eaten today. Probably. Yeah, I probably haven't eaten today. So I made myself cheese toast. And you're cooking, apparently. What are you cooking? Yes, I eat food. Rice, I mean, might just be like leftovers or whatever, but that sounds fucking delicious. I mean, even like the simplest things or even like the weirdest things can still be just absolutely delicious. One of my favorite meals is instant ramaroni, which is instant ramen mixed with mac and cheese. And it tastes fucking amazing, so... I'll make instant ramaroni for you someday. I've got a new way of making mac and cheese that I need to try out that I learned from a piece of Homestuck smut that had a section of how to make the perfect mac and cheese. So I want to try that, and if that's really good, then I'll try making instant ramaroni with that, and I'll make you some. I also know how to make the world's perfect grilled cheese. takes a little bit, and I just had time to make like cheese toast today, otherwise I would have made that, and it's like very greasy, and I don't want that on my skin right now, but like, holy fucking shit, it is like the best grilled cheese ever, and I will be happy to make you that. I will have a time to make that at some point, because once I have an apartment, even if I'm not able to kidnap you eventually, you will visit for a week. Like during summer break or whatever, you will visit for a week. I don't fucking care what I have to do. I will buy you plane tickets. You can experience the wonderful roulette wheel that is Penelope's cooking. I swear, it's always either like instant ramaroni or like the best grilled cheese ever made, or it's like that one time I tried making like, what was it, Spanish tortillas, where it's like the egg dish or something, and instead of egg I tried to use yogurt. Like, it's either fucking perfection or a culinary war crime. And you'll get to try that. Sorry for the wait, I'm eating cheese toast, because you know that thing where it's like you don't realize how hungry you are and you're like, oh, I'm fine, and then you take an actual bite of food and then you're like, oh, holy fucking shit, I'm starving, actually. My food is buttoning. Oh, is it burning? No, don't burn the food. No, I'm so sorry. Yeah, I do that constantly. I guess while I snack, I'll start setting up Bad End Theater, because I remember this one is really hellish to try and set up. Because it doesn't have a built-in windowless full screen mode. Remember, so I have to manually adjust the ratios or whatever. So I'll work on that while I eat my cheese toast. I'll turn the volume back to a reasonable thing. Oh no. I forgot I still have... Fuck. Turn off window capture. Okay. Oh god, my entire thing is like horrifically off to the side now. I don't want an Epic Games notification. Everything is horrifically off to the side now because the last time I set this up was... Ooh! Oh, that food actually looks real good. Yeah. Last time I set this up was... Oh god, and chat's over there now. Fuck. Okay, what I'm trying to say is last time I set this up was the, What was it? The Undertale song ranking. Which means everything's still fucked for me trying to... Or, because what ended up happening with that, I don't know if you can, but what ended up happening with that is I was not, like, that is a kind of stream that needs 2 monitors, and I only have 1 monitor. I was trying to balance between actually playing the music and everything, and showing my screen where I was moving the little tier list things around. But then Rhythm joined, and wanted to call, and, like, chat while I was ranking them, but Rhythm couldn't hear the music without hearing it delayed via Twitch stream, so I had to then stream it a second time over Discord. So I had 2 streams running simultaneously, balancing my audio, Rhythm's audio, and the audio of the music, and then like partway through, the music tracks corrupted and I had to pull up Spotify on an additional window, all on one monitor. Point is, everything is now a mess. No. Yeah, it was a mess. Alright, so I forgot to see on. Oh no! Oh no! I'm so sorry. Fuck you. Puts her cast iron skillet in the dishwasher. My seasoning. Are you okay over there? The sudden, like, lack of response after I forgot to see and makes me, like, are you okay, or are you just panicking over the... It's fine that you're not responding. I just find it very, very funny. Oh, fuck. Ah. Wait. What? Why is my... I forgot that this is gonna have like a black bar to the bottom or whatever. Yeah, it's gonna have that little black bar, but it should be fine. Alright. That's working properly then. Okay, you're just screaming. Oh no. I'm so sorry. We're out of. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just I'm just like, yeah, you know, set up the stream and everything, and you're just over here like having a cooking like existential crisis. Do you use limes for season? How do you season things with lime? Actually, to be fair, I probably get that me not understanding that lime can be a seasoning is probably as a result of ketchup being spicy to me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, well that looks good. Looks nice. I don't exactly think, at least I can't like tell off the top of my head or whatever how that would taste or something. It doesn't have enough cheese to be a dish I would understand that my family would make. But it look yummy. I don't know what those are. I'm so sorry. Have I committed an egregious sin by not knowing what those are? You are unadvisedly fair-skinned. God fucking damn. Snaz, I am going to be 100% honest with you right now. When I was born, the doctors actually thought I was dying because of how pale I was. Like, I was so incredibly pale, they thought something was wrong with me. And, like, they were panicking until they looked closer at my mother and saw how pale she was. Oh no. Oh no. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. You ain't raw or toast. You are not yet manufactured. Shut the fuck up! Oh, wait a minute. So I'm looking through the endings we have yet to do. All of them have this same bit at the end. That same choice, then a branch into a dead end, or into another choice and then an end. That's ominous. For the hero, the maiden, and the underling, it's all maiden choice into overlord choice. For the overlord, it's underling into overlord choice. Well, that's worrying. Are you okay, or are you still reeling from how white I am? I have also successfully eaten my cheese toast, so I'm ready to start whenever you are. I've also found a Rose Lalonde body pillow art, and there is a girl in my head screaming for it. I'll be honest with you, so lacking of color, or scientifically speaking, the exact color across the board. What? Yeah? Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? Also, are you... How far behind are you? Is it just taking you a while to respond, or is there, like, a significant stream delay? Because that was, like, a solid, like, 2 minutes later. Slow typer. Fair. The underling only has those two ends that everyone has. Maybe refresh your stream if there's a delay. But there is another way to the Lord Underling ending. I am very curious about all this. Hon hon hon, we be. Beep beep boop. Doop doop doop. What was the last one we got? We did like burnt but yum. That's good. Looking through our achievements, the first one not setting up. What? We first got conquered Overlord, yeah, because you were like, let's do Overlord first because she's pretty. I'm now setting. Okay. Then we ended by doing like 5 underlings in a row because we hadn't done any underlings because we were focused on the lesbians. And then the final end that we did last time was the selfless maiden end. The maiden tries to save the overlord from the burning castle. I forgot how genuinely painfully tragic this game is. Because, it's like, oh, it's bad end theater, it's always a bad ending, but, like, it's really tragic. Alright. My voice just had so much vocal fry there. Alright, let's do the game. Why alright just gives me so much vocal alright. Game 110% gonna leave me sobbing. Yes it is. I still refuse to believe that there is just no hope. There is for a fact some sort of secret way out. There's gotta be. So, I am very excited to see how much it breaks my heart to do so. Sorry, a friend just sent me a letterbox review of Beetlejuice, like the film Beetlejuice, 4 stars out of 5, with the review being, gonna be real, I forgot his whole deal was being a rapist pedophile. I mean, they're not wrong. Jesus Christ. Yo! Alright, you have your burnt but yummy food. You ready to start sobbing? God, yeah, no, we ended with the maiden burning alive. Fuck. Alright, one thing of the underling left before the ending choices, but we don't have that hero behavior unlocked. We can get an ad! No, I thought I turned off ads. No. Okay, you're free. Obedient, antisocial. What was it? Hi. All set. Alright. So, who do we want to do first? Underling doesn't have anything left that we can do right now because we're missing this hero behavior right after the maiden is obedient to get that other route to the Lord ending and stuff. But we can do, let's see, we can go down the antisocial overlord route for hero, which has, like, 3 different endings we can get there. Okay. So, Overlord is antisocial. Let's try the hero is dutiful. And the maiden is obedient. She runs from you, or you talk. Okay. Overlord is antisocial. Hero is dutiful. Maiden is obedient. Set that up. Not hungry, not disloyal. Maiden is obedient. Hero is dutiful. We are the hero. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Gosh, it feels good to be back here. And by good, I mean ready to experience pain, but... Your life has been rather ordinary, aside from the occasional heroic adventures, fighting evil monsters and whatnot. You were told a maiden from your village has been kidnapped and is likely being held captive at the nearby demon overlord's castle. Yeah, fuck the hero, but to be fair, he tries his best. A lot of times it's just... he has very heavily been brainwashed of everyone is evil, my purpose is to slay. my purpose is to slay, not hashtag slay. Okay, who even puts a village right next to where an entire demon army hangs out? You don't get it. But yeah, Maiden and Overlord are the best. Happy to protect the townspeople, though. You were born to play this role. Oh, holy damn delay. Are you okay? Do you need to... you need to refresh? You, like, if it's delayed that bad, like, refresh the stream. Yeah, sorry that. I'll wait for your suffering to end. You good? Alright, I just saw that message. Okay, good. So, if there's a hilarious delay there, then we may continue onward. Alright. You head off in your venture to rescue the maiden, but demon soldiers block your path. You could kill them to gain experience. Flee like a coward, I think. Forgetting your pride, you escape with your life, but you can't return home now. Your reputation will be ruined. You wonder how you'll ever be able to rescue that maiden all on your own if you can't even fight some lousy demon underlings. You'll take your chances at the castle. You're a hero after all. This is your job. I don't think... no. The hero is dutiful, but the overlord's supposed to be antisocial? Okay, hang on. Let's return to character select. What? Yeah, because if we do dutiful, then the hero slays the demons. But... hero slays the demons, slaughters his way through the castle. Everything is fine. Okay, so where does the antisocial behavior? Oh, so it's possessive, or... okay, so we flee from the demons. No. Okay, let's try obedient antisocial, but we'll be dutiful. Bravely slaughter the evil creatures. You make quick work of the vile creatures who stood in your way. You feel much stronger now. You reach the Overlord's... oh, okay. There she is. So the Overlord has already been antisocial now. So that takes place before we are dutiful then, okay. On your way back to the Overlord's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come from the Overlord's castle, could she? This may be the exact maiden you're currently seeking to rescue. You approach her with curiosity, and she runs from you for some reason. You wonder what that's all about, but then you remember you're covered in demon blood. Not wanting to look like you're a crazy person chasing after her or anything, you nonchalantly walk back to town. As you walk past the town square, you notice the whole village is crowded around. Is that the maiden you saw earlier? She's bound to a wooden stake. The crowd is in a frenzy. Smoke begins to rise, and you stand idly by as flames consume the maiden. She must have done something horrible to deserve that. You decide to call it a day and return to your house, but you can't escape this sinking feeling. Maybe you aren't cut out for this role. Spectator hero and B. Here watches the maiden burn. So if the hero's... If she leaves when she's told and returns to her village, that's this ending. After the maiden returns to her village alone, she'll be burned at the stake. We know her fate. Well, that's awful. Okay, let's run from the demons, but the maiden's still obedient. I think now we talk to her, but having not killed them. So we flee like a coward. Yep, you'll take your chances at the castle. On your way to the ogre's castle, you spot a maiden heading back towards the village. She couldn't have come. I feel like she could have come. It's just okay. You ask the maiden what she's doing. Doesn't she know the Overlord's castle is like right there? It's dangerous. The maiden explains that she spoke with the Overlord, and it turns out the demons never had any diabolical plans to harm the village or anyone in it. Oh no. We have to get every end. She can't be trusted. You aren't sure you should listen to this maiden. You've been taught your whole life that demons are evil. You ask if she's sure about all this, but she gets very upset that you think she would lie to you. She storms off before you can say anything else. You decide to return to the village, certain that she must have been the kidnapped maiden you were sent to rescue, glad that took care of yourself. You take your time walking home. Job well done today, you think to yourself. As you walk past the town square. So if we don't believe her... Seem nice, you think, but evil comes in all forms, you reassure yourself. So no matter what, unless we talk to her and believe her, she'll be burned. If we're trusting, that will lead to ends depending on maiden and underling behavior. So we now have a trusting behavior for the hero. Flee like a coward, believe her story. You have no reason to assume she's lying to you. Even though her story's kind of hard to believe, you feel you should trust her. You tell her you're pretty surprised that everyone has been wrong about demons all along. The townspeople must be informed of this immediately. The two of you return to the village. They had all been so worried, they praise you for your bravery. But the maiden quickly sets the record straight. There was nothing she needed to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers look to you for explanation. You politely inform them it isn't your story to tell. You merely ran into her on the way to the castle. She explains that the Overlord isn't interested in capturing maidens or anything of the sort. The villagers turn to you again in disbelief. They aren't being subtle in how little they trust this maiden's story. You totally believe her, but to placate these fair citizens, you volunteer to speak to the demons personally, just in case. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You're too busy thinking what a great and reliable hero you are to hear what they're saying. The town elder's voice breaks you from your thoughts. He implores you to meet with the Overlord immediately and says they'll keep an eye on the maiden until your return. You figure that sounds alright, but the mood is kind of intense for some reason. Did you miss something? You aren't sure what's going on, but you get the feeling it might be bad to leave the maiden on her own. But she suddenly takes off running. You thought the two of you were in this together. Her actions have convinced the crowd that she's obviously been a liar and a witch from the start. People are shouting for you to hunt her and her demon friends down already, but that doesn't sound like a very heroic task. You can't help but feel these people are wrong. It's up to you to catch up to her and talk to the demons in order to clear up this misunderstanding. You valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. The air becomes dark and thick as you enter deep into demon territory. Evil miasma? No, you realize it's just normal smoke. You see the maiden ahead, but she's stopped in her tracks. The Overlord's castle engulfed in flames. You had only taken an eye off the maiden for a second, but she's already disappeared. You get closer to the castle, but the smoke is so thick now you think of turning back. The maiden might need your help, but you can barely see. She could be impossible to find. She could have been lying to you all along. Was this a trap? Would it be worth risking your life on that chance? Your legs feel heavy. No, going in there would be suicide. You'll return to the villagers and tell them there was nothing you could do. You were too late. The maiden was claimed by the demons. Bystander hero. The Overlord burns to death in her room. We can set the underling so they burn to death in the Overlord's closet. We can set the maiden so she burns to death trying to save the Overlord. The only one not in the flames is the hero. We're so close to all of them together. I hate hero, TBH. Yeah, fair. But we're so close to all four of them in the same place. Darling puppets, enter the stage. Okay, do you want to watch the maiden be burned at the stake now? Golly, that's sure a sentence. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's watch her die tragically. Let's see. Hero is 8 out of 11. Oh, okay, so we are. Get her. She's one of them. Cool. Okay, so because there's those two endings, the hero being trusting leads to the other path for the underling. Okay, so because there's two endings for all routes that look like they're the final endings of, like, everyone together, that means the hero... So the underling is there except for one alternate route. The hero is 1 away from that. The maiden is 3 away from that, and the Overlord's 2 away from that. So let's watch the maiden burn. And then we have disloyal underling behavior will give us 2 endings. So the Overlord is antisocial, and the hero is dutiful. You are a maiden. You live in a peaceful village next to a spooky demon overlord's castle. You are told that you are fated to be captured by the Overlord one day because you are a beautiful young girl. Demon overlords apparently love capturing those. You think of how you haven't heard of that actually happening to anyone, but maybe the demons just haven't given the opportunity? Who knows? You are in church. You pray to your god, asking why you have been born into this role of maiden. You respect the divine plan and all, but you're really just curious as to what the point of it is. You are impatient. Beating a demon actually sounds pretty gosh darn exciting. Maybe you'd understand your role better if you were to just hurry up and get captured already. You leave a note and venture forth to find a demon, just to, see what happens. Not long into your little adventure, a demon underling appears before you. Looks pretty scary. Introduce myself? You tell the demon your name and explain that you're a maiden from the village. You tell them you were thinking maybe you could understand your role better if you were to hurry up and get taken away by a demon already. The demon doesn't seem to have really been listening to you, which is a little irritating. They agree to take you to their master nonetheless. After a long walk to the castle, you are introduced to the Overlord. You explain why you've come, and she squints at you. Turns out she never had any plans to capture maidens or to do anything else that would agitate the humans. You wonder for a moment if she might be lying, but it doesn't really seem like it. Still, this doesn't make any sense to you. You've always been told that demons would one day seek you out and something awful would happen. Then a hero would come to your rescue. You don't want to believe you've been lied to all along. Maybe it's just that you haven't been maidenlike enough. You ask the Overlord what you should do to be a more suitable maiden, but she doesn't seem to understand. Just go home and stop worrying about destiny so much. She makes it sound so simple. This Overlord seems like the complete opposite of you. You want to learn more about her and how she thinks. You insist on staying to talk with her more. The Overlord tells you again that you should get lost. How rude. You just got here. Obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Along the way, you encounter a hero. He's covered in demon blood. You are frightened by the sight of him and run away. You return to the village alone. Everyone was very worried about you. They surround you with 1,000 questions, and you tell them your story. As you explain that the Overlord never had any intentions to harm anyone here, you notice the looks of uncertainty in the crowd. People are whispering things to each other while you speak to them. You are loudly interrupted by an older man. He rudely calls you a demon sympathizer. The crowd is growing unruly. You don't understand. You've only told them the truth. Do they not believe you? Everyone begins speculating what must have actually happened. They weave elaborate lies and ask you to prove your innocence. Could you have returned without the aid of a hero, they ask? You could not have possibly escaped the Overlord on your own without harm. You must be conspiring with the demons, trying to trick everyone into believing they aren't the horrible creatures we know them to be, so they say. Have the people of your village always been this blinded by their fears and hatred of the things they've never cared to know? You wonder how you missed that before. You are seized by the crowd, and voices from all sides are calling for public execution. You are to be burned at the stake. You don't want to die. You wonder, would it have been better to hide the truth? You don't like the thought of that. You have always lived honestly, so why has this happened? Why are you being punished? You hear the dissenting voices of your family and neighbors, but they, like you, are powerless against the momentum. They can only watch as you burn, and you can only cry for them. You are so sorry. Executed maiden. And she'll reach the same end if the hero isn't dutiful, but the hero doesn't trust her. And so the hero being trusting lets her return to see the Overlord alone and die in the burning castle, as we know. Hold on, okay. Oh, shit, you're back. Turn off the Wild West music. Can you hear me? I have no idea. I completely turned off the mic when you left. I've just been reading, I've been reading Shadowbug for just the past while. Yeah, hi. I mean, yeah, I can do that. It is literally called Shadowbug, though. It's by Gonzo, actually, and it is completely finished. I think it was their fic before My Girlfriend is Terrifying, is what I would assume, at least. Though I haven't checked the date lineup. Probably not before, but at least you know what I mean. Anyway, I reached a part of Shadowstalker training Taylor, and is like, you know, choking her, and is like, you know, see, how do you break out of my grip, you know, fight back. And then Taylor's like, I could also think of another scenario where her hands are wrapped around my throat. I'm like, okay, Jesus, Tay-Tay, fucking calm down. Yeah, ayo. Yeah. Alright, let me unmute the Bad End Theater and actually pull up the stream. Hey, there we go. We're back. Yeah, hour and 15 later, but we are here. Hell yeah. Also, before you even start, like, don't apologize or anything for being gone. Literally, when I played Undertale Yellow, I did a 10-hour stream with just Dark there, and I took, like, I think 2 or 3 hours worth of breaks just because, like, Dark hadn't woken up yet by the time I started, so I waited, like, an hour or two, and then, like, right before the final battle, Dark was like, hey, I need to do some chores, then we paused for an hour then, and it ended up being 10 hours long. We're at 2 hours and 8 minutes here. You are fine. Even then, that 10-hour stream was one of the best streams I've ever done. That was fucking amazing. God, Undertale Yellow was gorgeous. It feels blasphemous for me to say, but I really can't help but kind of prefer the end of Undertale Yellow, at least like the final battle and like the final boss theme to Undertale's. Like, holy shit. Mother's love. Anyway, Bad End. We've got, what was it, 1 left, because if there's 2 that everyone has at the very end, 1 left for that for Hero, 2 left for that for Maiden, 2 left for that for Overlord. But looking at the Heroes route, we need a new underling thing to get that. Although we do have now the Hero's Behavior Trusting can lead us to the other path for the Underling's Bad End, which might unlock that Underling's final behavior. We also have if the Underling is disloyal and the Maiden returns. Because if the Underling's loyal or a coward, then the castle goes up in flames. If the Underling is disloyal, they will try to kill the Overlord. So, fuck, we'd see the Maiden watch the Overlord be murdered. Wow, that's painful. We also have the trusting hero end with Underling disloyal for Overlord. So what are you up for? You've got one alternate route to the Lord Underling Bad End. We've got... Oh, sorry. Yeah, my brain really likes calculating shit like this. This clicks so well for me. So we've got one alternate route to the Underling's Lord Bad End left. We have the Maiden's path where she goes to try and save the Overlord, but instead of the castle in flames, the Underling is disloyal. We have the hero believes the Maiden's story, but the Underling is disloyal, I think, is what'll get us that. And then we have the same for the Overlord. So we are hitting the point where all four of them are nearing, like, the exact same point. If we can get the hero into the burning castle, if we can get them all in one place. Who's furthest behind? Tied between Maiden and Overlord. Each of them have the Underling disloyal path that will give them 2 extra endings. The gays. And those do look like the same paths for each of them. Maiden. Alright. What is that? If the hero's trusting... Okay, so the main has a different choice then, but we don't know that choice. Okay, so... stays with the Overlord a while. Escaped, captured. Sacrificial. Complacent. Executed. Selfless. So... the Overlord is antisocial. The Maiden is obedient. The hero is trusting. So we will be obedient. The Overlord is antisocial. The hero is not dutiful, but is trusting. We are a Maiden. You are a Maiden. You live in a peaceful village. Introduce yourself. You tell the demon your name. So Overlord sounds like the complete opposite of you. Obey her. You don't want to cause any trouble, so you figure it's time to go home. Yes, what you're doing. Don't you know the Overlord's castle is, like, right there? You explain everything that happened. He's very surprised that demons don't seem to be as malicious as you were raised to believe. The 2 of you return to the village, hoping to communicate this to everyone. They'd all been so worried and are very glad that the hero brought you back. You quickly set the record straight. You weren't really rescued because there was nothing to be rescued from in the first place. The villagers seem confused and look to the hero for an explanation. He tells them he only ran into you on his way to the castle and that this isn't really his story to tell. It's the same thing but from the Maiden's perspective instead of hero this time. You explain to them how you met the Overlord and she's not actually interested in capturing maidens or other mean things like that. The villagers look again to the hero for confirmation. You feel a little miffed that they seem to prefer his word over yours, but you don't say anything about it. The hero proclaims that he believes your story, but volunteers to go talk to the demons himself just to make absolutely sure. The crowd breaks into hushed whispers. You hear words like trickery and demon sympathizer being thrown around, which makes you frown. You're pretty shocked that everyone's this hesitant to believe you. Does the hero even trust you? You aren't sure anymore. An old man implores the hero to go speak with the Overlord immediately. He says you should be held prisoner and considered dangerous till the hero returns. Much to your disbelief, the crowd agrees with him. Because of course, if you were conspiring with the demons, they can't afford to let their guard down. The whole village will be slaughtered by monsters. The hero isn't saying anything. You'll be tied up and tossed into a cell at this rate. If you're going to be held captive by anyone, it's going to be the Overlord, not your fellow countrymen. Resolute. Grab the hero and run. Is that the... Hang on. Does leave on your own just give us the same death in the flames that we already have? Or... Yeah, actually, let me check that. I can skip through everything again. If she's trusting, resolute gives us the other end. Yeah, so we have to return to see the Overlord alone. So that is different. Or, well, it'll give us a bad end, but I forgot we have to make the underling disloyal. There we go. Trusting, disloyal, antisocial, we are a maiden. Introduce myself, obey her. Leave on my own. You can prove yourself without anyone's help. You make a run for the Overlord's castle, leaving the hero behind. A suspicious group of demons stands just outside the entrance. Are talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them. The underling you recognize from before is the first to do something about it. This is just the way it has to be. They suddenly attack you. In that moment, you regret having ever trusted the demons. You die instantly. Slaughtered maiden. We're so close. That's only gonna get us slaughtered unless the underling uses their new behavior. Resolute will get us to the final endings, is the thing. Which is not a bad thing, but I feel like we should knock out every other line. If you don't mind, I think I'm going to do the underlings. Wait. That's the main behavior that we can see in the underlings line, is she's resolute. I'm gonna do the underlings lord ending, except from, instead of, because it has two ways to get to the lord ending. We did it the way where the Overlord is a tyrant and the underling gets involved in the plot and eats the maiden and kills the Overlord and stuff. I want to do it the other way, where the underling gets involved afterwards and then leads to them walking in on that, and the underling overthrows the Overlord, because that will give that new underling choice, I believe, which will allow the maiden to get whatever this other disloyal underling end is. So for this alternate path, we need polite, disloyal, antisocial, obedient, trusting. Polite, obedient, trusting, antisocial. You are an underling. Yet you are a demon underling. You set off on your venture outside the castle. The change of atmosphere excites you. You spend some time rolling around in the grass, wild and free. As you make your way along the path to the nearby human village, you encounter a maiden. She greets you and says she has a favor to ask. You consider your options. You're in a good mood today and are rather curious about what the maiden has to say. Humans don't usually talk to you, so this is kind of exciting. You hadn't guessed it would even be possible to understand each other before now. The maiden is going on and on about some kind of destiny she's trying to fulfill. The bottom line from what you gather is that she wants you to take her to the Overlord. Sounds like it could be interesting. Besides, you have nothing better to do. Satisfied with your day out, you take the maiden back to the castle and present her to the Overlord. They seem to be getting along just fine, so you decide it's about time for a nap. You don't get to sleep long. Your friends wake you up. Rude. One of them is stepping on you pretty hard. You ask them what their deal is. They say they're planning a whole revolution. They're going to get rid of the current Overlord and put a new ruler in place. They want to hear if you're in or out, and being a pretty lazy underling, you of course reply with, "That sounds like a lot of trouble. How about we just skip it instead?" Your friends question your loyalty to their cause. You tell them you were just joking and clarify that you're totally in it to win it. They say you were always terrible with jokes. Whether or not you actually feel like killing the Overlord, you know how bad it would be to end up on the wrong side of things. And if this assassination deal doesn't pan out, you can always pretend you were innocent all along. But beneath your shield of faux confidence, you worry about what you're getting yourself dragged into. You follow your friends outside the castle to talk more about the plan. You're curious if they have any idea how they want to go about this. They figured they'd just lock her in a room and set it on fire. What a stupid plan, that can go wrong in so many ways. You realize your friends are just a bunch of directionless thugs, useless without someone's guidance. Your guidance. Ironically, the fire thing is the only thing that seems to work no matter what. We can't beat the flames. There would probably be casualties if you fought her head on, and while showy deaths make a revolution a heck of a lot more fun, it's probably the wrong way to go. Your friends agree and suggest that you play the assassin. You really didn't want to come down to this. But you can't back down now. You'll have to be the one to assassinate the Overlord. Besides, no one has any better ideas. You and your friends turn to notice the maiden from earlier has overheard your entire conversation. It'd be bad for you if the Overlord found out about this. Captor! So the captor option. Toss her in the dungeon. You and your friends seize the maiden and bring her to the dungeon under the castle. It's empty save for the decorative skulls. They're only there to make it feel more spooky. The maiden is very upset. You leave her in the cell to continue scheming with your friends. But now a hero has arrived at the front gates. He's asking about a maiden, perhaps the very one you just locked up. The gatekeeper must have seen everything, tells the hero exactly what happened. What an idiot, you think. Why give the hero an excuse to start slaughtering us? The hero yells, "Prepare to face justice," and other such cliche hero lines before driving his sword into the gatekeeper's torso. You're small compared to a lot of your friends, so you're able to slip away without getting cut up by that sword. You get to thinking, if this hero took down the Overlord for you, everything might actually work out in your favor. You wait for things to die down outside before poking your head out. You spot the Overlord and hero locked in battle. They've worn each other down, making this very easy for you. Once an opening presents itself, you hit the back of the hero's head, knocking him out. What are you doing? Couldn't you tell this was a duel? You don't respond. You have to carry out the assassination. You tackle her and rip her to shreds with your claws until she stops moving. You finish off the hero next. You can't let him revive and come after you later. Kind of a cheap victory, but it doesn't make any difference. Anyone who managed to survive comes crawling out of their hiding places. You are the new ruler of this castle. Your subjects bow before you. You live in fear that they will one day betray you as you had betrayed your Overlord. Captor. So that is the other route. If the hero is trusting. Which means now, there's a maiden bad end, where the underling is a captor. And there's a hero bad end, where the underling is a disloyal captor. So we can now finish off the maiden's final remaining bad end and the hero's remaining bad end as well. And we can do the Overlords too. So let's do Maiden, that's disloyal captor, antisocial trusting. Disloyal captor, antisocial. You are Maiden. Introduce yourself, obey her, leave on your own. Prove yourself without anyone's help. Talking about assassinating the Overlord. They immediately notice you overheard them and decide to lock you in the dungeon before you can cause any trouble. You cry out, but the demons ignore your protests. You can't believe you escaped possibly being thrown in a cell back in your village only to be tossed in this awful place. This is terrible. Who's gonna keep those demons from harming the Overlord? You hope she can fend for herself. You sure can't. You hear the sounds of battle echoing through the halls outside. Did the hero follow you? If he's out there, your cries don't reach him. After a while, the violence seems to die down. It's impossible to tell what's happened. You continue to wait, but no one comes for you. Unable to escape, you rot in that cell. Imprisoned Maiden. 30 out of 41. We're so close. Maiden and Underling are now done before the end. Let's knock out disloyal captor underling, hero end. Antisocial, obedient, trusting, disloyal captor. Antisocial, disloyal captor, trusting, obedient. You are the hero. Flee like a coward. Believe her story. Valiantly dash after the maiden toward the Overlord's castle. When you reach the gates, you ask the demons if they've seen the maiden. They have. They inform you she's being held in the dungeon at the moment. She trusts them, and in return, they lock her up. So demons are truly evil beings after all. You demand they take you to her, but they do not let you pass. You should have expected as much from these unreasonable creatures. You know what you must do. You thrust your blade through the demon before you and rush the castle alone. You're the only one who can save the maiden now. What the fuck are you doing, killing all my soldiers? The Overlord is angry. You vow to exterminate her and all of demonkind. You clash again and again, but the Overlord isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health when everything goes black. Your quest has come to an abrupt end. Unlucky hero. Heroes at the end, underlings at the end, maidens at the end. Overlord time. Hot lady. Me when I yawn. Okay, how do I get there? So, antisocial, obedient, disloyal. Was that right? Yeah. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. It's a pretty cushy life, you think. Except for those pesky humans who keep killing members of your army. There's even a role called Hero, whose whole purpose in life is just to dethrone you. What's their deal anyway? You've actively avoided pissing off the humans in hopes they'll leave you and your army alone, but they never do. You're still new to this whole Overlord thing, if you're being quite honest with yourself. You don't really understand the politics of it. But you remind yourself everyone is doing their best to fill their roles, and won't let them bait you into being the evil Overlord they expect. You think you're pretty cool and mature to hold yourself to the higher standard like that. One of your underlings walks into your room, totally interrupting your thoughts about how awesome you are. They're saying something about how boring it is to stand in one place guarding the castle all the time, especially since no one comes here anyway. See their point, but the way they're whining about it kind of bothers you. What to do with this underling? You tell them to go take a break from the stifling castle atmosphere and refresh their dark soul. A day off should be fine every once in a while. They thank you and happily scurry off to do who knows what. You have nothing better to do today, so you decide to nap for a little while. Being the Overlord sure is great. You wake to a knock on your door. The underling from earlier brought back some company. It's a maiden from the nearby human village. She says her role is to be captured by you. The maiden then goes on to say she's been getting very impatient thinking about her impending capture, so she's come here to speed things along. Delebabim. You appreciate her honesty, but regret to inform her you never had any plans to capture any humans. She seems very disappointed by this. Perhaps I'm not performing my role well enough. How can I become more maiden-like? You don't really understand the question. I think this world puts way too much focus on destiny and junk. Just go home and stop worrying about it, you tell her. The maiden seems to be having a hard time wrapping her head around this. She insists that she stay and talk to you more. You feel warm inside as she looks into your eyes. This is the first time a human has looked at you without contempt. You wonder what to say. You'd love to have all the conversations in the world with your new friend, but having a human girl here will definitely cause trouble. You put on your mean face and tell her to get lost. The maiden does what she's told and takes her leave. You figure you may as well go back to bed now. But you don't get to rest for very long. One of your underlings is tearing your throat out. You try to struggle, but you can tell you're already mortally wounded. What have you done to deserve this kind of ending? You remember now, you gave this one a day off, and this is how it repays you? You die wondering if you could have done anything to prevent this. Assassinated Overlord. Everything you've done has only hurt them more. Who are you? There's someone else here. Someone wanting this. This game is mean. Okay. Same ending, but this time the hero's trusting. You're the Overlord. Grant them the day off. Tell her she get back home. You wake up to the sounds of battle. A hero's cutting through your army. As the Overlord, it's your job to take charge in these kinds of situations. You rush out to end this hero's pitiful existence. Vile demons! I shouldn't have believed for a second that you were anything but pure evil. I'll exterminate you all! You don't really get what he's going on about, but you engage regardless. Girl's gotta defend her people. You clash again and again, but the hero isn't going down easily. You're both dangerously low on health, waiting for the other to make a move when one of your underlings appears behind him. They knock the hero unconscious. You kind of appreciate it, but can't they see this was a duel? They don't respond. You sense murderous intent. Your servant tackles you, tearing you apart with their claws. You struggle to retaliate. They've done too much damage. You can barely move now. Your blood is everywhere. You can't believe this has happened to you. Why has this happened to you? You've been slain by your own underling. Betrayed Overlord. All that's left are the final endings. It all hinges on if the maiden is resolute. Who do you want to go first? Maiden first. Do you want to do the trusting hero maiden returns path that we've been doing recently, or do you want to do the maiden stays with the Overlord for a while and the hero's diplomatic and like takes her back or whatever, which we haven't seen because we've just seen the Overlord be possessive at the end of that. Return. So, the trusting path? Trusting or diplomatic path? Because it's like either way she's like returning with the hero, but it's like the trusting one is specific. Isn't a response when I ask you. Okay. So same one we've been doing recently. Antisocial, set the underling to disloyal. What happens if the underling is loyal, but she returns? Because if the underling is loyal, then the castle's in flames. That's not an option. There's only an option here for the underling to be disloyal. What if she returns with the hero and it's in We'll do the underling disloyal, but I think everything you've done is only it's still repeating that. It changes every time I swap screens, but now it's just repeating that. Or at least mostly repeating that. Okay, so antisocial and antisocial, trusting, disloyal. We are a maiden. Introduce yourself, obey her. The whole village will be slaughtered by monsters. Grab the hero and run. You boldly announce that you'll accompany the hero to prove yourself. You'd rather risk what's out there instead of staying in a village that doesn't trust you. No one seems to know how to react. You grab the hero by the wrist and take off before anyone stops you. Near the castle's entrance, you spy a group of suspicious demons congregating. They're talking about assassinating the overlord. You have to warn her. But the hero shakes his head. He says that if this is the true nature of demons, the world is better off with less of them. There's colors. There's colors. So we are on our way to true endings. Demons have taken notice of you. It's now or never. You take off into the castle and the unreliable hero follows shortly after. You burst into the Overlord's room, all your words spilling out at once. You should probably slow down, but there's no time. The Overlord seems to have followed your frantic explanation, but clearly doesn't understand the urgency of the situation. The underling you recognize from before barges in, calling you a liar. They're all in one place. They're all in one place. You're surprised they were a part of this evil plot. They seem so nice. The other demons come in right after them, saying the whole thing was the first underling's idea. Everyone's shouting at each other now. It's really stressing you out. You're relieved when the Overlord demands silence. She threatens them with violence, and you think she's very Overlord-like in this moment. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the little one behind. You watch as it pounds on the door in distress. Have they locked you all in? You have a bad feeling about this. And thinking that must have jinxed it because now the room is engulfed in flames. If only you had ignored those demons before, you and the hero wouldn't have stumbled into this situation. If you had just pretended not to hear them, if you had left as you were told, only the Overlord would have been killed. But you couldn't have done that. That path isn't an option for you. You think that no matter what, you'll always strive for the path where everyone survives. It must exist. It simply must. The Overlord seizes her underling. They beg for their life. You pray. You don't know what else to do, so you just pray. The Overlord's claws pierce the underling's chest. They scream an awful scream. She digs and twists her claws into the poor thing while you continue to pray. But there's no saving any of you now. You, the Overlord, the hero, and the underling's corpse are consumed by flames. Devout maiden. The only behavior we're missing is the Overlord's, presumably where she chooses not to kill the underling. Again, it changes every time I switch screens, and now all it's saying is everything you've done has only hurt them more. So that all relies on the Overlord's choice. Do you want to knock out hero and underling now. I'll put hand sanitizer on a cut. No. Wait, I hope you're just saying that in regards to how painful this. I'm gonna put hand sanitizer on. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Oh, you avoided the cut. Yippee. I don't understand. What if the maiden returns with the hero, but the underling is loyal? I'm actually just gonna decide right now because I don't see that as an option, and I want to see what the fuck happens there. Obey her, but be resolute. But as you approach the castle, you notice something's gone terribly wrong. It appears to be on fire. So the Overlord, alright, you have to be sure everyone's safe. You've already taken off before the hero can even think of stopping you. You scan the fleeing demons, but the Overlord isn't among them. So we just die in the same way. It's too thick, you can hardly breathe. You realize you haven't got much time left now. You desperately head towards the stairs to save yourself, but the fire spread faster than you expected. You won't make it out outside. You can't help but laugh. This is exactly the kind of punishment you deserve. You let the demon fire cleanse your rotten soul. So it doesn't matter if you take the hero or not, you will still die selflessly if the underling is loyal. But we got somewhere with the devout ending. Okay, your options are, since I want to save that Overlord choice for last, your options are watch the underling be torn apart by the Overlord as everyone's dying in flames, or be the hero as everyone's dying in flames. Are you just choosing that because you hate the hero? Polite, antisocial, obedient, trusting, resolute. Fuck, hero. Fair enough. Hear her out. Okay, let's kill the Overlord. Wait, we kill the Overlord. You have to be the one. You and your friends turn to notice a pair of humans have overheard your entire conversation. So whenever all the colors come in, that's how we know. They take off into the castle. Are they headed to the Overlord's room? Fuck! The Overlord will kill you for sure if she found out you were conspiring to take her out. You dash into the castle after the humans. Sure enough, the maiden's already frantically telling the Overlord everything. You shout that the humans are liars. Your friends soon arrive to back you up, except they don't. Instead, they blame the whole thing on you. They cry that it was all your idea and that they were just going with the flow, too scared to refuse your crazy plan. Can't believe they tell the Overlord such a blatant lie. You always knew better than to trust them. You're the one who didn't have a choice here. You all shout at each other until the Overlord demands silence. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. She sounds tough, but lately all she does is sleep. You doubt her strength. You hear your traitorous friends mutter something about going back to Plan A, and suddenly the door slams shut. You're trapped in here with the Overlord and the two humans. And then the room bursts into flames. You pound on the door, screaming curses at those who betrayed you. The hero joins you, vowing to slay the lot of them. You wish he'd get that chance. The Overlord grabs you by the throat. You cry for mercy. You're forced into this mess. You're sure now that they would have killed you if you'd sided with her. But the Overlord doesn't hear your pleas. She drives her claws into your chest. At least she made it quick. Traitor underling. Almost there. If the Overlord leaves the underling alive. Same path, but for the hero. Antisocial, obedient, trusting, resolute, disloyal. Sorry, Snaz, but it's time to be the hero. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Flee like a coward, believe her story. As you stand there not sure what to do, the maiden announces she's going to prove her story to the village. She drags you along with her. She is much better at odds with you around, so you don't object. Adventure awaits. When you make it to the castle, you spy a group of suspicious demons hanging around near the entrance, and you can't help but overhear their conversation. Ick men, at least this particular man, talking about assassinating their overlord. This proves to you that demons really are foul creatures. Why do they all have Hatsune Miku hair from the hero's view? You have to tell her about this. Don't understand what the maiden is thinking. The world is better off with less demons. They're all cold, ruthless creatures that should be destroyed. And these same creatures have just noticed you eavesdropping. The maiden takes off into the castle and you have no choice but to follow. You burst into the Overlord's room. The maiden frantically tries to communicate what you just overheard. A demon underling barges in next, calling you liars. It's followed by the group from the entrance who shift the blame back onto the little one. These demons only care about themselves. How low can they be? You begin shouting at them and the whole room dissolves into noise until the Overlord yells for everyone to shut their traps. She threatens them with violence. This Overlord is no better than her subjects. You grip your sword tightly. If you have to cut through everyone here to get this maiden to safety, you certainly will. The group of demons hiss to each other before shutting the door, leaving the runt of the litter behind. You glance around for another exit, but there isn't one. You have a terrible feeling about this. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. What kind of demonic magic is this? The underling pounds on the door, upset that it's been betrayed. You join it, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. The next moment, the Overlord has taken hold of the underling. It's crying for mercy. She thrusts her claws into the underling's chest, and it lets out a horrible scream. You back away. You won't be the next target of her rage. She continues to dig and twist her claws into its limp body. You can no longer watch. You look to the maiden. She's crying, hands clasped together in prayer. To have faith in a time like this, you envy her. The two of you, the Overlord and the underling's corpse, are all consumed by flames. Resigned hero. You must really be enjoying my tragedies. You. The puppet master. Theater always has a director. Time to obedient, let them go, but trust. Yeah, time to unlock whatever that final Overlord thing is. Everything relies on that. Disloyal, polite, obedient, resolute, trusting. We are the Overlord. You are the Overlord. You live in a castle surrounded by your demon servants. Grant them the day off. Tell her she'd better go home. The maiden suddenly bursts into your room, accompanied by a hero. She's trying to frantically communicate something to you, but you're still half asleep. They tell you a group of demons is after your life. You still don't grasp the urgency of the situation. One of your underlings barges in next, shouting that the humans are liars. They're followed by another group of demons, crying that everything was that first underling's plan. Everyone is shouting over each other now, and it's very annoying. You yell for all of them to shut their traps. You have no doubt that your servants would let their ambition cloud their judgment and lead them to try and take your throne. Regardless of who led this conspiracy, I have no choice but to punish everyone to keep you all in your place, crushed beneath my heel. Saying that made you feel very Overlord-like. You aren't sure you have the strength to back it up, though lately all you do is sleep. A group of demons start muttering something about going back to plan A, and suddenly slam your door shut. You, the maiden, the hero, and one of your underlings are trapped inside. In an instant, the whole room is in flames. The underling pounds on the door, cursing at their friends for betraying them. The hero pounds on the door as well, vowing to slay the cowardly demons on the other side. So this is how you'll die. Burned alive in your own room by those you thought you could trust. You should have expected this from a bunch of idiot demons, though. You notice the maiden crying. Why does she have to die over something that has nothing to do with her? Perhaps she was cursed from the moment she spoke to you. You wonder if you're cursed as well. You're so filled with anger and frustration you don't even notice that you've grabbed the underling those traitors blamed everything on. They cry for mercy, saying that they were dragged into this plot knowing they'd be killed if they took your side. They cry that they didn't want to have to kill you. You almost feel sorry for them. The merciful option. Take retribution. You pierce their chest with your claws. They scream. The hero backs away. He is wise not to interfere. They've stopped moving, but you keep digging and thrusting your claws into them. It doesn't make you feel any better. The underling's corpse burns along with you and the two humans. Spiteful Overlord. There's one ending left for each. You must really be enjoying my tragedies. Whose ending do you want first? I mean, actually, it has to be Overlord, because we have to choose to let her be merciful. So we'll do Overlord, but after that, you can choose. Same setup as last time, except Pretty Lady is merciful. Forgive them. You release the underling. Killing them wouldn't make you feel any better. Besides, they've already gotten their punishment. You'll all burn together. Overlord's true end. No. Before you're taken back to reset the story once again, you pause for a moment. True end, you say to yourself. What was the point of all my effort if the true ending is this terrible? You must have forgotten where you were. This is bad end theater. Is the pain setting in? Oh, but you should have been well aware of what you'd be shown when you entered this place. It's a problem I've seen quite often. At some point, you grew attached to my little cast. You started to relate to their flaws, their plights. You started wishing for their happiness. But you aren't going to find that here in my theater, my lovingly crafted labyrinth of suffering. Anyway, I hope you'll pardon the interruption. You're making great progress. The choice to continue on to the next ending is always yours. I'll leave you to it, my dear guest. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. You found lost letter 4. Reset the stage. Puppet Master unlocked all the actors' behaviors. Lost letter 4. My love, do you remember when we first met? I just finished one of my scripts, one I was quite proud of, in fact. As I read it aloud, you happened to pass by. What a terrible ending, you said. Why should these poor fools have to die? You were so rude. You wouldn't accept any of my justifications, and yet you managed to convince me. It really would be better if everyone could live in harmony, however unrealistic that felt. I look back fondly on that day even now. I wonder if somewhere you're thinking of it too. Forever yours, Tragedy. There must be a happy ending. Whose true ending do you want next? Alright, underling. Same setup as before, except now the Overlord is merciful. Lets her underling live in the end. Hear her out. Let's kill the Overlord. To your surprise, the Overlord spares you. Or maybe she'd rather see you suffer instead. Looking around, you've just gone from one dead end to another. The maiden is crying, the hero is silent. You'll all burn together. True end. It's always you'll all burn together. No matter the perspective, the true ending remains the same. That's what makes it true. You couldn't resist seeing it for yourself, though, could you? I wonder what will happen when you collect them all. Will you give in to despair, or... A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. My love, I've been feeling a little depressed lately. Many patrons have come to my theater, but none so far have stayed to experience every tale in its entirety. The critics haven't exactly been kind, but I understand. My stories aren't exactly crowd pleasers. Despite that, you always listen to the very end. I'm grateful for that. Hope to see you again soon. Forever yours, Tragedy. Who next? Hero or maiden? They'll all burn together no matter what. You are the hero. You like to think of yourself as a pretty reliable and swell guy. Flee like a coward. Believe her story. Is she going to kill it as retribution? It continues to cry and make excuses, but the Overlord does nothing. To your surprise, she lets it go. Are demons capable of mercy? You guess it doesn't matter now. You'll all burn together. Hero's true end. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. One left. Yeah, one ending remains. Will it be good or bad? My love, it just isn't fair at all, is it? For them to force us apart like this, it's unreasonable, cruel. I had to find an outlet for this grief somehow, so I decided to write, and I'll keep writing until the day you find me once more. And then maybe we could write a story together. I'm waiting for that day. Forever yours, Tragedy. One ending remains. You ready? What's up? Alright. You are a maiden. Introduce yourself. Obey her. Grab the hero and run. The Overlord spares the underling. You feel relieved, but doesn't make any difference. Will you all burn together? Maiden's true end. A letter flutters down from beyond the curtain. It can't end like this. You want to answer the maiden's prayers. You've decided to find a way to save everyone. But retracing the paths you've seen so far, there doesn't seem to be any room to avoid a bad ending. Is there really nothing you can do to keep them from getting killed in the end? There's nothing you can do by acting from within their story. Maybe it's time to take things into your own hands. Congratulations, you've explored every path I had to offer. Thanks for playing. My love, I finally fulfilled a childhood dream of mine. That's right, I opened up my very own theater. You would be so proud if you could only see it. I know how much it would have meant to you to be at my side on opening night. I'm sorry for going ahead without you, but I thought if my theater could become world famous, then maybe you just might hear of it. Wherever you are, forever yours, Tragedy. Hero, on fire. Maiden, on fire. Underling, on fire. Overlord, on fire. Holy shit. You are. You boldly insert yourself into the story and use your incredible power to warp Ever into safety. You didn't know you could do that. What's going on here? You take a moment to get a good look at yourself. You are you, but why are you pitch black? You feel that this body doesn't accurately represent you, but you move past it. The hero, maiden, underling, and overlord have been staring at you too. They look like they don't really know what they're supposed to do right now. You guess that's because you're usually the one guiding them. What will you say to them? Hi guys, come to save you. Explain to the group that you've witnessed their many terrible intertwining fates, and now you're searching for a good ending. Of course, this makes no sense to any of them. Only the maiden understands your compassion. My prayers have been answered. You must be... her god? No, you're merely the player. If there was any god here, they'd be the final boss. It's just how these role-playing games go. Now you realize what the real true ending must be. Now, enough of this. I admit I've been encouraging you all along, but a self-insert story, how passé. You watch helplessly as tragedy descends from the heavens. You didn't honestly believe you were the only one who could force your way onto the stage, did you? I am the narrator, storyteller, god of this world. Call me Tragedy, if you'd like. Darkness envelops your party. You don't mind if I send each of them back to relive one of their many bad endings, right? You are alone in the darkness with me, Tragedy. I sincerely hope you've been enjoying your time in my theater. Though I can't abide you stealing the show without permission. It's quite disrespectful. Sick of all these bad endings. Then frankly, you should never have come to a place called Bad End Theater. Haven't we already been over this? You think defeating me might just be the better way to see a better ending? It's all that's left for you, isn't it? Well, this does sound like it could be entertaining. Show me what you've got. Time to fight God. The stage is set for your final battle against me, the god of this world. What will you do? How will you fight against tragedy itself? I'd love to see it. Defend. You try closing off your heart to protect yourself, but it doesn't make you feel any better. Is that all? You'll never defeat me like that. You're right. Perhaps you don't understand just how outclassed you are here. Behold my beautifully tragic tales. Doesn't seeing them all again make your heart ache? You've witnessed all 41 of my painstakingly crafted endings. You must be as much of a masochist as me. I commend your thoroughness. Surely these characters have a special place in your heart. They're still suffering backstage, you know. It's a shame they couldn't make it here, to the end of the world. That's right. You came here to save them. You can't do this alone. Holy shit. My HP is 41 out of 41 for all 41 endings. Holy fucking shit, we're fighting God. Summon. You happen to find the maiden as she exits the church, her heart set on meeting a demon. Perfect timing as she approaches you, having already taken notice of your odd form. Excuse me, are you a traveler? I've never seen anyone like you before. You explain that no, you're not a traveler. Well, maybe you are in a sense, you've come all this way. The maiden regards you with excited curiosity. Then perhaps you might be a demon. I was hoping I would meet one today. You think of all the terrible fates that hope would bring about. She is the catalyst of the story, after all. My role as a maiden is to be captured by the Overlord, but you see, I've grown so tired of waiting. Remember this part. She wants to understand her role better, and so... You ask what it is that she's really hoping to gain from this. The maiden is confused by her question. Perhaps it was as simple as wanting to reach the place she felt like she belonged. The true end for this maiden suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. If something I can do to find fulfillment, then please guide me. The maiden will now fight alongside you. What is this horrible creature? You wound me, dear maiden. Is tragedy really such a terrible thing to behold? I remember now. I remember all the awful things you put us through. Then this should be familiar to you as well. Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. I mean, kindness and hope. How will you fight against tragedy? She is so cute. Alright, I had to get the maiden first, but do you want the hero, the underling, or the overlord next? While we try and kill God. Gay? You want overlord then, if you're suggesting gay? Yeah. What if the main does kindness? The main tries to appeal to tragedy with kindness. So naive, I'll balance your kindness with my cruelty. Alright. So I'll just get damaged. Probably unless I have more. Overlord. You enter the Overlord's room, relieved to see the fire contained in the torches on the wall. When you close the door behind you, the Overlord rises from her slumber. Who are you? Have you come to reside in my castle and serve me? You explain that no, you're not here to serve her. It's more like you've come to do her a favor. You ask why she spends all day sleeping instead of commanding her demon army. She laughs in response. Many of my underlings certainly think I should be more aggressive with the humans, like my father before me. His quest for revenge was endless and self-perpetuating. There's a reason I had to destroy him. You can't help but think it's a little late in the game to be getting some new backstory. I've no interest in waging war on the humans. I merely wish to be left alone, to live a peaceful, indulgent life in my castle. Realize she must actually be very lonely, only surrounded by soldiers instead of friends. No wonder she gets so attached to the maiden. The true end for the Overlord suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change her fate. My own attempts at peace have been rather imperfect. If you offer a solution, then very well, I will follow you. The Overlord will fight alongside you. I see. So this is tragedy. You've brought the Overlord! I don't stand a chance now! You've prevented me from attaining peace for long enough. Prepare to die! Oh, I hope you're prepared to face your deaths as well! Tragedy attacks with a terrible fate. Ambition and brutality for the Overlord. What will one of them do? Brutality? The Overlord tries to fight tragedy with sheer brutality. Has violence really been working out for you so far? I'll show you my own brutality. Alright, hero or underling? You approach the gates of the Overlord's castle. The underling is on guard duty as you expected. They call out to you. The other demon guard is sound asleep. Hey, you're a pretty weird-looking intruder. What do you want? Explain that no, you're not an intruder, although you're definitely intruding into their story right now. You tell the underling you've come to save them from tragedy. Okay, try saving me from boredom first. I hate this job. The underling snickers. You ask what kind of job they'd rather have. It'd be best if I didn't have to work at all. I just want to live a carefree life and never get bossed around or picked on. Think of the underling's friends who had bullied them into an assassination plot only to betray them in the end. If they kept better company, maybe they wouldn't feel so restless. The true end for the underlings suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change their fate. There's a way that even work can be fun? It sounds fake, but I'll tag along with you just in case. The underling will now fight alongside you. Wait, what the fuck? You didn't say anything about a boss battle. The underling, You must be desperate to call on such an unreliable ally.
If I beat this guy up, all my problems will be over?
But it won't be that easy. You fight against mischief and tenacity. Mischief. The underling tries to evade tragedy through mischievous means. You're so much fun! Would you like a reminder of where that mischief will lead you? Summon the hero. You find the hero in his home, hunched over a sewing table. Your sudden intrusion scares the hell out of the poor guy. Are you some kind of demon? Explain that. No, you're not a demon. How can you explain it in a way the hero can understand? Instead, you ask what he's sewing. Oh, this? I craft all my own hero gear. You sense his pride in his hobby. You wonder if the costumes are what attracted him to the role of hero. Would you like some clothes? You don't seem to be wearing any. Remember the state of your body and decide that yes, some clothes from the hero would be nice. He is overjoyed by your answer. Apparently his outfits are too gaudy for the other townsfolk, so no one else wants them. The true end for the hero suddenly becomes clear. You offer to change his fate. I can make a living as a tailor rather than a hero. Please, tell me what I could do to reach that dream. He just wants to sew. The hero will now fight alongside you. I agreed to follow you, but I didn't expect to face something like this. The hero has arrived! We really couldn't have a final boss battle without him. The one who's been killing us. Murderer! I can't truly call myself a hero until I see you defeated. We'll see about that. Now that the whole party's here, can you solve my final puzzle? Which combination of behaviors will open the path to your true ending? Show me. How will you fight against tragedy? Justice? Hero tries using his belief in justice to fight tragedy. That justice applies to you too, does it not? Will you pay for your own misdeeds? I'm almost dead. Hope? Our true endings do exist. They simply must. The maiden hopes with all her heart to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. So hope does work. Willpower? Your reign of terror ends here, tragedy. I refuse to give in. The hero uses his willpower to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Tenacity?
Knock me down and I'll just come back stronger!
The underling uses their tenacity to overcome tragedy. Tragedy is reeling. Ambition. I'll reach my true ending with my own power. The Overlord uses her ambitious nature to overcome tragedy. This is it. With everyone hearts united, you take aim towards your best possible futures. You all unleash one final attack to destroy tragedy once and for all. You've done it! You've managed to defeat me! A tragic ending for tragedy itself! I love it! I must thank you all for fulfilling your roles perfectly. Thank you, hero. Thank you, maiden. Thank you, underling. Thank you, overlord. Enough of this nonsense. We defeated you, so die already. Oh, don't worry. I'll be making my exit shortly. Hermes, thank you. Finally, thank you most of all. We couldn't have made it here without you. Yes, my bad end theater did contain a truly good ending after all. I apologize for antagonizing you for so long. I wanted to deliver a satisfying story. Was I able to do it? I wonder. No. Well, I did my best. happy endings shouldn't always come easily. Reality is not so kind. But you've earned this one. Here's your true ending. The hero gets to just be a tailor.
To the lost, the cold, take your seats, everyone. Welcome to bed and theater. When the curtains close, you'll come away stronger, or maybe you'll break. Not my fault you sought this pain. Sharing my misery for all eternity. Labyrinth of suffering. Wandering all alone, searching for my lost love, stumbled toward bed and theater. Though its lays were cold, I still felt this warmth from them. Isn't that strange? Can't help thinking of your face. For all your tragedies, all right, happy endings. Undo all our suffering. I've missed you, my darling.
Your true end. Something's missing. I said I wasn't satisfied. Oh, you're still here. The curtain has closed for the final time. I'm shutting down my theater. There are no more tragedies left for me to tell, after all. Me? You'd like to know why I started this theater? Because I'm obsessed with bad endings, of course. You gently raise your fingers to the cracks in my mask. Piece by piece, it falls apart into your hands, revealing I should have warned you. This might affect what you think of my stories. You can't help but compare my face to the maiden's. I'm not her, but it's not like she isn't me necessarily. That's how it is with fiction. Would you like to hear not another ending, but the truth? Tell me. Alright, one last story. You may already know this, but it doesn't have a happy ending. First, I'll set the stage. In this world, there are no such things as demons, or even heroes, really. There was a girl eager to set out to fulfill some sort of destiny. That part was true. She met someone. Another girl. A running theme, isn't it? The maiden and the overlord. The two were inseparable, and for a time everything was just wonderful. But their families, the communities they came from, neither could approve of their relationship. That is the reality for many. This pair was no different. Despite their best efforts, the world was intent on pulling them apart. We used to like the types of stories where love conquers all. The strength of your love will pull you through any hardship, and everything is okay in the end. I lost her. And then I started this theater. this story does have a happy ending. Huh? I was hoping to find you. It's you. It's been so long. I thought I'd never see you again. You always think of the worst endings. I wasn't about to give up just because things got difficult. Why didn't you reveal yourself sooner? I feel like such a fool. I could say the same to you. You knew I could never resist giving your stories a happy ending. So of course I would be drawn to a place like this. Yes, but I didn't think it would actually work. Sometimes everything does turn out okay in the end. Thank you for reminding me of that. I love you. I love you too. Now truly, everyone can live happily ever after. Tragedies end. I've missed you, my darling. Bad End Theater closed. Gay rights. I'm sorry, I need a moment to stop crying. Does anything remain in the theater? There's nothing more to see, my love, but if you'd like to reset, if you really want to experience everything all over again, I'm happy to oblige. Shall we begin the resetting process? No. You're so fickle. Let me know if you change your mind. Let the stories rest for now. Close the theater. Okay, I'm actually crying. They flirt, yeah. The girls. Maiden was the catalyst of the story, and the maiden was tragedies. You know, not self-insert, but you know what I mean. Tragedies stand in their play. I guess the title, It's More Lesbian Agony Time, Yippee, was real, right? got a lesbian happiness at the end. I'm crying so much.
To the lost but cold, take your seats, everyone. Welcome to bed and theater.
I've put the credits song in the background. Oh my god.
Or maybe you'll break. Not my fault you sought this pain. Sharing my misery.
That's also such a good use of we heard this same fucking music so repeatedly that I got a little sick of it, I'll be honest. And then the credits just actually giving lyrics to it and expanding that. That's good. That's good music. That's good sound design.
Wandering all alone.
Oh fuck, listen.
Searching for my lost love, stumbled toward bed and theater. Though its lays were cold, I still felt this warmth from them. Isn't that strange? Can't help thinking of your face. For all your tragedies, all right, happy endings. Undo all our suffering. I missed you, my darling.
That's comedy singing. Because she sings about how she noticed, like she could feel tragedy's influence there. That's comedy's song. I didn't realize because we didn't know. It was just like, oh, the player, but she could hear her lover and she found her. Games with gay rights, hell yeah. Comedy and tragedy together at last. Tragedy's end. All right. I think that'll be it now. I need to go start sobbing. I really wasn't expecting a comedy and tragedy story. That really got me actually, and tears have just been streaming down my face for the past like 10 minutes. All right. Have a nice day, dear. Thank you for being here to finish this with me. What if I doodled them? Oh my god, yes. Gosh, even the hero, even grew to like the hero because he just wanted to be a tailor. All he wanted was to sew clothes. Wasn't fit for this role. He was the worst out of all of them because he didn't even want anything to do with his role. Yep. Maiden, Overlord, and Underling all wanted a different route, a different ending to their role. Hero didn't want his role in the first place. Gosh. All right. I'm going to end this here. Thank you so much for coming. I'll see you later. Love you.